Alright, so school just ended and I'm driving home and I had this cough the entire day, actually the entire weekend. It actually kind of sucks. I even had rolled ice cream this weekend with a cold, which wasn't really the greatest, that was definitely not the greatest idea. But anyway, I kind of wanted to talk about the book The Alchemist. So, on the ride back home from dropping my sister off at college yesterday, alright, let's turn. Okay, on the way of dropping her off, or after dropping her off, we had like a 4-hour drive back, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this time to read The Alchemist. It's for school, so I'm not that good of a kid, but hey, I really enjoyed it. And there was this part at the very end. This is like a spoiler. If you've not read it before, then I suggest you skip it, but honestly, I want to talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it. So anyway, The Alchemist is a book about this boy whose name is apparently Santiago, it says in the end of the book, and this boy was a shepherd and went on a personal journey, or personal legend, and it was like a journey to see the Great Pyramids because the king that he had met told him that there was treasure there that he would find. So along the way, he met gypsies, he met another alchemist, and he met this one alchemist that this other lesser alchemist was looking for because alchemists could turn lead into gold, which was something that they'd never heard of, and only alchemists could do this, and so he wanted to learn the secret to that, that other alchemist. And so, oops. Anyway, the boy, that was so funny, the boy was told by this alchemist, and he figured out at the very end that it's not the action of turning like lead to gold that makes the alchemist. It's the realization that making something better in evolution is what should happen naturally. So if you can find the soul of life and put in that energy into the lead, it can transform into gold because that's its next state. And when lead was the best it could be, it turned into gold because that was its next stage or its next life. And so basically the book is saying, in order to make yourself better and your surroundings better, you will eventually, when everything around you is better, eventually evolve into something that's even more better. So I don't know what's better than a human, but our next life would be an evolution of this life, and we would keep striving to be better and find our personal legend in each life. So the lead would turn into gold, the gold would turn into something else, and then eventually a human, and then something else. So, I don't know, that realization just made me kind of shaky inside, and for like a solid hour I sat there after the book ended, listened to music, and I was like, wow, this is insane. And then I started reading The Best of Me, a sample of it at least. Gotta get that romantic time on Sunday nights when it was raining. I had to read that to make myself feel better. But it was a sample, so I haven't really read the next part of it, but the movie was great, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read the book. I just want to talk about that, The Alchemist. Because, I don't know, books like that just make me want to keep reading every single day and just drop everything and just read. Because, I mean, I know this is really cliche, like, oh, everyone wants to read the book to the end because the end is where the juicy stuff is. But, like, getting to the juicy part, it just makes everything worth the wait. Like, reading The Alchemist in the beginning, you're just kind of like, why am I reading this book? It's like, okay, the shepherd boy that goes on his personal legend, I really don't know. But then you get to the part where it actually tells why they even wrote the book. It's like, every book has that, you know? I mean, maybe not romantic books or mysteries. I mean, mysteries, they solve it. Romantic books, something happens between... Oh, that wasn't at my school, but in romantics, it's like between the couple. But books like this, I don't even know how to categorize it. What is it, like adventure, fiction, or folk tales? Some of, like, they just have such a good moral, and I don't know, I just asked my friend too, I was like, hey, you've read the rest of these books, or the rest of this, like, Paul Coelho, I think that's how you say his last name, Coelho, I'm not really sure, that's the author of the book, and wow, what is happening? And I asked him, I was like, hey, you've said you read the rest of the book, so give me some. I'm gonna read them, so tell me, which ones should I read? And so he gave me a recommendation, and I think I'm gonna start doing that soon. But, I don't know. It's been a while since I've read such a good book. I mean, I had to read Beowulf over the summer, too. I mean, I haven't really read that many good books. Good books. And so, can't really judge stuff off that for the summer, but it's been a while since I read a book like that. That made me kind of just, wow. I kind of want to keep that thinking in my life. Like, hey, if I make everything around me better, you know. I mean, I don't have to believe in all that stuff, but I think it has a good, you know, lesson to it. So, I like that. Also, yeah. So, school was good today. Spanish was usual. Hung out with my squad fam. We always have a lot of fun. And, let's see who else. In environmental science, I'm going on this trip this Saturday to these mountains that are in Cleveland, and apparently some federal troop agents are coming with us. So I was talking to Mr. Munger about this. Mr. Munger, biology teacher and environmental science teacher, obviously. And he was telling me, so I asked for the data plots because we're actually working on a study that's with like the United States Forestry Service, something like that. And so we're working on 2 plots out of their 53 plots, and that's supposed to be like very undisclosed to public information about like where the plots are. So like I said Cleveland, but disregard that. I don't know where in Cleveland. You don't know where in Cleveland. Neither do I yet. But he was telling me, he was like, yeah, I had this friend who used to work in forestry, and he just typed in on like Google Earth coordinates of a place that he was surveying just to see where it was in relation to like the rest of the world, I guess. And he immediately got fired because then it was in the public domain, and everyone, I mean, it was just like a plot, and so that meant like someone has been there, someone was looking for it, and lost his job because you aren't allowed to do stuff like that. So I was like, ooh, cool. Like, that's not cool, but that's kind of crazy that we're working with feds like that. That's crazy. He was like, yeah, you need to sign these permission slips, and I'm gonna run them through the feds. And I'm like, you're gonna run what through the feds? I don't want them to be aware of me, please. But anyway, I think it'll be fun. And let's see what else happened today. Well, I made a fisheries joke in econ amongst all my coughing. He was talking about Karl Marx, and there's like these yellow men, like dressed in yellow shirts. Oh wait, they're also women. They're just running around all matching. It's weird. They're wearing like navy khakis, all of them, and these like mustard shirts. It's hard to miss them. Anyway, in econ, we were talking about Karl Marx and how his idea, his one sentence that we were trying to like tear apart and understand, and he was talking about the propagation of human race, and he was like, you don't really hear that. It's like not very, it doesn't really keep the humanity perspective of the word like reproduce. Like, you don't say, oh, you know, when like someone has a kid, you don't say, oh, they propagated. Like, no one says that. And so then he was like, so what are other uses of the word propagation? I was like, fisheries. And I actually made a bunch of people laugh with that. Pretty proud of myself because fisheries joke. Gotta incorporate that fisheries joke. Gotta do stuff like that. It's my job. Anyway, that's basically what happened today. I kind of like this whole talking and debriefing about what happened in my day, because honestly right now my playlist is not in good shape, so I don't have great music to be listening to, so why listen to music at all, right? So I'm not, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I might, but I don't really want to talk for 23 minutes, so I won't. But how was your day? You know, whoever sees this, how was your day? Because mainly aiming this towards my sister, because now that she's gone, I don't even know when I will get time to talk to her, because her schedule is crazy. But I hope you watch this, and I hope it makes you want to call me and be like, hey, my day was good. Yeah, I want to hear about your day. Tell me about your day, you know? So, I don't know, I might keep this up. I kind of like it. It's really peaceful. It's like a stress reliever, especially because my head has been throbbing the entire day with this cough